thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. This is actually one of my favorite topics, especially when it comes to the midwifery model of care. I know we've done a tremendous amount of work with Borough President Antonio Reynoso in Brooklyn, and we're always yelling at everyone, just giving them the difference between a doula and a midwife. And both are incredibly important to maternal health and reducing maternal mortality rates. My question would be, I guess twofold. First and foremost, what does the midwifery workforce actually look like in New York State? And what can we as a state do better to improve having more access to midwifery programs? Thank you.
So there are about 700 to 1,000 practicing midwives in New York State. But let's talk about how midwives practice, which is problematic. The midwifery model of care is a philosophy around birth being, I call the 3 S's, safe, sacred, and satisfying. However, midwives in the United States and hence in New York State are forced into a subset within hospital systems because 95% of all midwives in the United States, including New York State, work in hospital. Whereas in other industrialized countries of the world, they work within homes, they work within birth centers, and within hospitals, and the same midwives are rotating through the system. And so midwives in New York State are forced into that model. You have to be very strong-willed to resist adhering to the medical model, the patriarchal model, to fight for your patients and to fight for their right to birth the way that they want to birth. And so, you know, what could be done? More education around that, more accountability within hospital systems where midwives are attempting to provide the midwifery model of care and getting a lot of resistance, and I would even go as far as to say bullying around doing things that do not align with the model. And as far as increasing the workforce, there are, we have a few programs. We have 2 private programs, NYU and Columbia. We have SUNY Downstate, which is a program. Well, Stony Brook is having some issues right now. And we have some out-of-state programs. We have the Frontier program, which educates more than 60% of all midwives that are educated. We have a lot of distance learning programs, and we have a subset of students that go to places like Penn and like Yale. But we don't have a good affordable program, and there are issues with clinical sites with the programs, because if the midwives themselves are having issues in their workplace, what are they teaching then to the students, right? If you're going to work every day and you're fighting to be healed, and to be a healer in the space, and we hear this also from our doula colleagues, we're not there being collaborative, we're there being the blockers, it becomes really problematic. And so we need more midwifery education, but I would dare say we need to create a different type of midwife that really understands how to push back against, you know, issues of human rights and issues of birth equity.
And just in the interest of time, we're actually working on creating that program within CUNY. We were able to secure it in our house in last year's budget because I actually was trying to go that direction, and I know how hard it is to have access to education. So thank you for that, and we'll connect offline.
Absolutely.